Yo guys, it's Michael from Chess Lifestyle, and let me get this countdown on so you guys can see that. Let me get this on too. Yeah, how's it going? Today we are training 53 minutes of chess, because if you convert the number of YouTube subscribers into minutes, into seconds and then into minutes, then we're training 53 minutes. And as the title of the stream suggests, I'm finally playing in a tournament coming up. The tournament is just rapid play. It's nothing serious, but it's in around, I think, 10 days. So hopefully then we can get in a few actual training streams, because I realize it's been like so long since we've actually done any real training. And the rapid time control is 15 minutes plus 5 seconds of move. So I want to practice some 15 plus 5 today if I can. Maybe I'll have to settle for 10 plus 5. We'll see who shows up. But before I get into the training, what I wanted to show you guys was I went through some effort today. Wait, why does it show the chess mood? Oh man. Okay, let me hide these. One sec. It's been so long since I've used Streamlabs. But yeah, I wanted to share with you guys this new project of mine, which is uploading some paid content on YouTube. So for quite some time now, I've had like YouTube memberships. It hasn't been so successful. I have to give a huge shout out to Josh for being a member for at least 6 months. I think it's probably approaching almost a year probably. So appreciate the support there. But yeah, I decided to make a new membership tier, which is like £4.99 a month, and you'll get access to any paid content I upload on YouTube. And this series that I've been filming on my Patreon, I decided to import it into YouTube. And I think this will be very nice, because basically like the timestamps will work very well, and it will be very slick. And yeah, this is literally my Benoni repertoire taught to a 1700 student of mine. And yeah, the lessons have been really fantastic. So I hope that if any of you are out there are curious about learning the Benoni, I think this is a really good point of reference. And I mean, each of our lessons are supposedly 1 hour, but as you can see, we have been overrunning our 1 hour mark quite a bit. So yeah, if you're interested, feel free to check that out. That should be live on YouTube round about now. And yeah, the new membership, I've been very lazy with the names. I've just given it an update of 2.0. Yeah, these are the different tiers. So the first one basically gets the gym rat badges, which probably I could explain. I don't know if anyone's curious, but as you can see, like it's all based on the theme of Mikhail Tal, because I wanted it to be like you're training your tactics, you're training hard. So yeah, there's some whole lore about it. I'm not gonna go into it now. But yeah, basically that's the thing, and I'm looking forward to uploading, finishing the series on YouTube as well. But okay. Also, if you guys have any questions, you can let me know in the chat. Or in the comments if you're watching this, not live. Be more than happy to answer. But okay, let's get into the content now. I look very red on the camera. Am I really that red, or I don't know. I whatever. I can't be bothered to mess around my camera right now. So what I want to do, I want to do a warm up. Let's do one easy, let's do one hard of chess neurons. It's been a long time since we've done this. And then we'll play a rapid game and analyze it after. And hopefully squeeze that all in an hour. So let's give this a shot. Okay, easy chess neuron first, black to play. What to do? I'm seeing a very interesting idea of pushing b4. My logic is if the pawn takes and then my bishop takes, my bishop is controlling the squares of this knight. And if they push the pawn to try and activate their bishop, I'd be more than happy to trade off this bishop, given that my king will get active and my bishop is still controlling this knight. So b4, is that good enough? If they push, then we can take it. And we are threatening to win the pawn, so I think b4 is the answer. And what if they play like bishop d3 or something? I guess still we can activate our king. And their king is like very slow to activate. I think this has to be the way. There we go. Okay, so bishop d3 indeed. Pushing the a pawn. I didn't think about that. I just thought about activating the king first. But okay, both are probably fine. King d6 or a4 is probably, a5 is probably fine. Interesting how they don't give any other lines. Like, it would be interesting to see if this is strong. Let's see. So if c5, is this a good move? Okay, it's still good. It's still good. Yeah. Okay, great. Let's do a hard puzzle, and then we'll play a rapid game. Okay, black to play. Oh, I realized my big face is covering half the board. If anyone watching the stream can let me know when stuff like this happens, that would be much appreciated. What's the best way to do this? I guess I can just move myself over for now. I should probably create a separate overlay for chess neurons, but okay, let's solve this. So black to play. What is this position? It's so weird. It's so weird. So strange. I have really no bearings on what to do in this position. I mean, my instinct is to play f6 because I feel like white is a bit more developed and there might be some pressure on f7. So I just want to play f6, solidify that center, and then develop the rest of my pieces. We've got one check, queen e3 check, but then they just block queen e2, and I really don't see what we've achieved. Guess we can also develop. Yo, Josh, what's up? How's it going? I don't know if you can actually move back on a live stream, but I explained some nice stuff about a new series I'm uploading on YouTube rather than just my Patreon. And I've introduced a new membership tier, so yeah, lots of new updates that I've been trying to sort out today. Man, I think I just play f6 and then c. I mean I could try to be more ambitious with knight f6, but then they just play queen e2. I feel like I'm missing something fundamental here, but I really don't understand. Queen e3 check just gets met with queen e2, and I really don't see what's the big deal. Maybe move like f5, trying to open the center, but it seems absolutely insane given our lack of development. I'm gonna go with f6. I mean, this feels the most right. Yeah, it's not correct. Let's find out. Queen e3 check. Time to exchange queens. I mean, my first instinct is like, our queen is developed, their queen is not. Why would we encourage that? Oh, we're up a pawn? Oh, for God's sake. This is why I need to start training properly again, because I am not even evaluating correctly. But yeah, that makes sense. If we're up a pawn, then the trade is going to make a lot of sense. I just thought that the material is equal. Ah, that's a bummer. Okay, so yeah, being a pawn up, then this is, and then f6. Okay, fair enough. Let's see how much difference in evaluation is. So -2 for queen e3. Only -0.6 after the move knight b1. Crazy. That's crazy that there's a -2 swing in that evaluation. It doesn't feel like the queen is that strong. Yeah, that's a weird one for sure. But yeah, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make a challenge for 15 minutes plus 5 to practice the time control of my KL open rapid play. Yeah, we'll risk the rapid rating. And while we're waiting for an opponent, then we'll keep doing some more of these chess neurons. Let's keep going with maybe let's go back to one easy, and then we'll go back to one hard. I can't do too many of these on stream because yeah, this is technically paid for content. So yeah, I doubt Ankit would be so happy. I mean, he's fine with me showing a few of these exercises, but not all of them, of course. So let's see if we get a challenge. If we have to wait a long time, then maybe I'll change the time control to 10 plus 5, because there'll probably be more people in the pool for 10 plus 5 than 15 plus 5. Is this a rated event? Unfortunately, it's not. Or I don't even know if unfortunately is the right word, but there is prize money, and there are like medals and stuff. So I kind of want to yeah, try and take it seriously, because I think it's a good, you know, challenge to see if I can actually like try and win it or something. Oh, well done, Elliot. Forcing queens off when you're a pawn up before weakening the king with f6. Fantastic. Yeah, this is something I did not appreciate, that we were in fact a pawn up. But okay, let's solve this. So this is another chess neuron easy exercise. Okay, let's have a think. Okay, let's actually count the material this time. 3, 6, 6. And also welcome Elan. Welcome Woody Shooter. What kind of puzzles are we doing? These are like positional chess puzzles from a website called Chess Neurons. Highly recommend checking it out. And actually, I think in my description on this stream, there should be like a promo code as well, if you want to get a 10% discount or something. But these are very, very good. You get like some daily puzzles, and it's good practice to try and solve. So to me, we have equal material, black is a little bit awkward with their king safety. So I'd be thinking of like how to exploit that. We've got a check on g6, which forces king d8. But the question is if it actually achieves anything. Trying to understand, is there anything else in the position that is worth taking note of? Don't really see. It's actually miserable how much worse at chess I've become just by not playing for 2 weeks. Okay, we're gonna play this guy first, and then we'll go solve more of this chess neuron. Okay, let's go. Do I play c5 here? I think I play c5. So yeah, well, when I'm playing a game, if you guys can avoid commenting on specific moves, that would be ideal. I don't know, actually. What would you guys think? Maybe you guys can comment on specific moves, and then I will just make sure not to look at chat until after the game. It depends if you want the chat engagement live or not. Now, if I remember correctly, this was basically where... Yes, I want to play e6, I think. I want to play e6. I don't want to commit to like a 4 knights English. And I think on d4 I want to play with b6. Okay, interesting. So if he plays with d4, his bishop's going to be inside the chain. So that means we can play a reverse Reti setup. I'm going to play b6. I want to stay a bit flexible. See if he actually pushes d4. And if he does, then I think I can enter this reverse setup. I'm just wondering if I have to be careful of d5. Like, can he take with the pieces? This is my one fear in this position. Feels a little bit sketchy, but maybe knight c6 and is just fine. I think knight c6 and is just fine. So I think I can get away with g6. Yeah, let's play g6. With the pawn here, I'm not as worried about these dark squares being weak, but maybe one thing I should be aware of is what if they pushed e4 now? It's very clumsy, but maybe it's strong. Because if he pushed e4, then probably I don't want this pawn on g6. Probably I want to play like more of a hedgehog setup. I mean, if they play e4, I'd even be considering whether to enter a hedgehog with like bishop e7. And just have this funky pawn on g6 just chilling. I think it should be okay. Like, I can always castle and put my king on g7. But yeah, whenever white plays like a Reti and transposes d4, it's always a bit like panicky with like, yeah, how exactly you deal with it and avoid any unwanted transpositions. Yeah, the thing is, like, Elan, when you say, like, trade attackers, I mean, that queen was literally on its start square on d1. It's like, I wasn't looking in that direction at all. But, okay, if I knew that I was a pawn up, then maybe I would find this a bit more easily. Wow, the guy actually goes for e4. So this is kind of what I was a little bit concerned about. In which case, probably now, I would have to take on d4 and enter this setup. Well, I don't think g6 is such a big deal. It's kind of like white has lost a move, and we've gained g6, but I don't think it's so weakening. I actually think it's okay. The thing is, what we can't allow is d5 and allow a symmetrical Benoni. I think this is really uncomfortable, so I think we got to take. I think we got to take and then play d6. So I don't really want to allow this as well. Yeah, let's play with d6. There's no bishop f4 because of e5. I'll play with like a6, bishop b7, bishop e7, knight d7, queen c7. In general, I don't mind these hedgehog against Maroxy bind setups. I feel like very often neither side knows what they're doing. So it's alright. I remember when I used to play like Reti with white, and I would enter Maroxy bind quite often to create an imbalance, and I would hate playing against people who played hedgehog, like especially players who knew it well. It's like it sometimes can get so much counterplay, and you've always got all these different breaks to worry about. So one thing I am happy about is that I'm up on the clock. I guess, to be fair, I could put the bishop on g7. I have a feeling it could be like some improved hedgehog. Because I seem to remember that like some players would like castle, put a rook on e8 and then reroute the bishop to g7. I think I remember some Aronian game like this. So maybe then, if we actually have the pawn on g6 already, maybe we just put the bishop on g7. The only doubt about it is like whether d6 will come under fire. If we play bishop d7, castle and put the knight on e8 and a queen on c7, we've probably got enough protectors, to be honest. It's tough to say though, because if I put the bishop on e7 and I play in this way, then what I want to do is if they play f3 and castle kingside, I want to push h5, h4, h3. So that plan is probably better with the bishop on e7, or can the bishop still be on g7 for this plan? Like, maybe I could just play bishop g7 and go for this plan. But the thing is then, with my king on e8, then I don't have knight e8. Yeah, I need to make a choice. And I do want to deal with this bishop sooner rather than later. I guess I could start with the bishop. But I don't really see why I should. Decisions. I'm also a little bit scared of queen a4 check, if that does anything. I could also start with a6. Maybe a6 is quite a useful move. I'll delay it one more tempo. In a hedgehog, you can get away with like pawn moves. The reason why is because I might want to have the flexibility to put a queen on c7. Because I don't want any situation where I'm forced to play knight c7 and a knight can come into c6. It can get very messy. So I want to be able to play queen c7. I don't want to allow knight b5. So I think queen c7. And I need to make a choice about this bishop. I don't know where the bishop's going to be better. My gut instinct is to say bishop e7. And yeah, especially now, I think bishop e7 makes way more sense. The thing is, bishop a7, queen a4 check probably would force me to put the bishop on d7, which is a little less comfy. It's probably alright. We could also play h6 just to force the issue, because there's no bishop f4. But you could always go back and play with queen d2 or something. So I think I'll play bishop e7. There's no way he can add pressure to this knight, right? I think it's fine. I think let's play bishop e7. And I think I want to play with h5. I don't really want to allow this clamping move. I think playing with h5 is what I want to go for anyway. I don't have any moves like this, right? That's not gonna work. Or is it? If I take this pawn, they take my bishop. If I take my queen, they take my queen. No, they've won a whole piece there, so I don't think that works. Let's keep a time advantage. I'm remembering now that there was like some Benoni idea with playing h6 and then playing queen check to pick up the bishop, but I think this is like some... Probably not in this position. But yeah, I think I'm actually fairly happy. Castle's queenside, okay. So the question is queen c7 or bishop b7 first? Somehow I feel like I need the piece to be here. Probably bishop b7 first then. I mean, now that he's on the queen side, it might have some logic to try and push for b5, but... Nah, let's stick to the... In the hedgehog we trust. Let's stick to the bishop on b7. Put the knight on d7, put the queen on c7. I think this looks alright. Yeah, Lan, your bishop e7 runs into bishop h6. Like, it did cross my mind, but I didn't feel like it would be like so critical because they are wasting another tempo moving that bishop to h6. I am glad though that I managed to get an h5. That might have been a critical test of this bishop e7. We'll have to look after the game. There's very annoying music playing. I quite like the music actually. It's like this like Nintendo remix of sorts. Oh, okay. I'm glad my mic isn't cutting out and stuff. And yeah, Woody Shooter, weird opening, trying to be flexible, but the pieces stay a bit weird. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like white takes this big center, very solid. They have this like slightly bad bishop on the light squares trapped in. Engine really likes white. Engine really dislikes hedgehog, but of course, there's a lot that can happen in these hedgehog positions. And yeah, we should think and remind ourselves how much time I should spend on the opening in a 15-minute game. Wow, h4, okay. Don't think that's that big of a deal. I think I want to play like queen c7 or something. Yeah, so 15 minutes game, I should spend 1/5 of my time on the opening, so that's 3 minutes. So I'd say like the opening is almost done, and we've spent 4 minutes, so we're on a little bit of the slow side, but at least our opponent is even slower than us. So okay, let's continue with knight d7, complete the setup, and now we need to decide where my pieces belong. And I suspect we keep the rook on the h file and actually try and play king f8, king g7. This is my feeling. Does knight e5 achieve anything? Maybe we attack this pawn. If they have to play b3, then this weakens their king a little bit. This might be a nice idea to throw in. But yeah, my king safety is a real question. I mean, does castling queenside make any sense here? Generally, you don't in the hedgehog, but he has castled queenside. Maybe there's some logic. From a practical perspective, given he's got 7 minutes already, it feels like there's more reason to play castles queenside. Because I don't think he's going to be able to beat me outright or something. Like, I'd be able to grovel pretty well with a king on the queensiders. But is it actually objectively good? I'm not so sure. Right. Now I really don't want to castle queenside. Does he actually have an attack on the king side, though? I feel like he doesn't. I feel like it's very difficult to make it work. Go on, let's play king f8. If he plays bishop h6, I'm not so afraid, I think. I think I can even just play king g8 and it's not a big deal. So yeah, one plan in the hedgehog is to try and prepare this b5, and we can do that by playing like knight e5, knight c6, try and trade off a piece and play for b5. But yeah, I'm really glad this guy's burning time. I mean, this position's only going to get way harder, so I'll be very happy to have a bit more time. So g3, is he trying to play for f4? Or maybe he's even trying to bring his bishop out this way? Maybe that's the plan. It does weaken f3 though. So maybe we can play knight c4 just to tickle these points. I think we should just go for it. Or maybe use the opportunity to play king g7 while we still can. Although we need to be careful, right? There's probably some ideas of this. I need to be very careful I don't blunder. Which is actually relevant in this position as well. I could play knight e5 and bishop c8. It's a bit clumsy. That might be alright. I think knight e5 feels right. I think knight e5 feels correct. It is a bit clumsy to play bishop c8, but I don't think it's that bad. I also wonder if he plays bishop h3, maybe I could play like queen takes c4. And if he wants to sack, then I should survive. And I can try trade queens, a bit like the chess neuron puzzle that we solved. Go a pawn up and then just trade queens. I'd have to be careful that there's no like discoveries somehow. But I reckon bishop h3 can be met with queen c4. That's how I feel. But okay, I'm glad that we're kind of playing quickly. We're controlling our time very nicely. Okay, so that makes sense. Cutting out my ideas on c4. If I play king g7, bishop h3, I guess I have to play this bishop c8. It's not that bad though. I really like my king on g7. I think I need to play this. I've got like a really bad sunburn, which is why my shoulders are very itchy. If you're wondering why I'm aggressively scratching my back. So yeah, I think I need to play this. I guess I could move the queen as well, if I want to keep the bishop here. There might be some reason to keep the bishop here. Could play with like queen d7. Though I don't like the idea of like maybe some shenanigans like this. I could just play queen b8. Maybe that's actually the smart move. Stay on a decent square and just, you know, avoid the fork. Maybe that's actually better. I don't want to move my bishop, so I think we'll try this. We can play rook a7, queen a8. I didn't really calculate if this is any good, but like, I mean, if it's a bullet game, then yes, I will lose. But I've got 8 minutes. I should be able to find a good defense, I think. Okay, so he gets off the line of my bishop. Can I make a pawn storm work somehow? Like, is pushing this guy up any good? Probably not. I can also go back knight c6 to try and trade off that knight, which is getting a little bit too strong for my liking. I think that feels like a pretty good move. So long as my queen is not on c7, where they can basically do this tactic and exploit this pin, then knight c6 is okay. But yeah, we've got a nice healthy time advantage. The queen is still controlling the square. One idea might be knight g8 even, to try and trade off that bishop. Although he does have the retreat score on e3, that looks very pleasant for them. If they ever play g4, I'll just ignore it. I'm very happy to recapture with a piece of some sort. As long as I'm not blundering something. Right. If I take, then we get this very horrible pin. Now I can go knight g8, potentially. He might even just try and go all in with f5 though. Yeah, this is really critical. Okay, let's think. F4. A very ugly idea I'm having is knight takes and then just push e5. If takes, I gain a tempo on the queen. Am I experiencing big problems or is it actually alright? But then the square is so weak. Can't be good. But I need a solution relatively quick. Somehow tempted by this knight g8 again. The f5 is like a little scary. Man, I am frozen. Knight h7? Does that make any sense? I need to make a move. Even considering e5 looks kind of horrendous, but maybe it's also good. e5 actually makes a lot of sense. But then he can take on c6. I take back. Yeah, I'm not liking it as much. I think knight g8 is going to have to be tried. Okay, we got to make a move. We got to make a move. I really want to keep my time advantage. I feel like that's a really significant asset in this position. Maybe I'm even threatening this. Even though actually there's still this pin. But somehow it might work, you know, like play f6 and e5 or something. Like that might just work. I can't play this now because of knight e6. But yeah, this could very well be lost for me. I'm not exactly sure where I went wrong. I'm not checking chat in case anyone is suggesting any specific answers right now. What's my move here? I guess I would play this. Takes on d4 and play f6. It looks very hairy. But it doesn't work actually. Takes on d4. I play f6. They just take on e6, and I can't take that bishop. So yeah, it's not quite working. Okay, we have it. So I can't ignore it. There's huge pressure on e6. If I take, then they have to take back with the pawn. Probably have to. If that changes something. I don't know. This is so complicated. Maybe I even push e5. It's so horrendous to allow this, but or maybe take first and then play e5. Queen goes back somewhere like d2. Maybe that actually looks alright. Can I find anything better with 3 minutes on the clock? God, my brain hurts trying to think. This shows the rustiness, I think. Okay, let's just go for it. The guy only has a minute, so navigating this for him is even more torturous. I wanted him to take, and I get a cheap trick. But it wasn't meant to be. So my idea was to play it like this. This was my grand idea. It's not too bad, to be honest. If I play this, maybe he could play this in between move. Does that work? Take his bishop, he gives me a check. Oh god. What is even happening there? I don't think he can do that, you know? I think we're actually safe. Go on, let's play it. If he takes, I reckon I can actually take this. From my very... butchered calculation. But I'm glad I'm not just, like, afraid of this in-between move. Which I could have been in the past, but I have been doing some work on calculations, so I gotta trust that there's no follow-up. So okay, let's say he just goes back to e3 or something. What then? Maybe then I can play b5, because if takes, and I've got this check. Wow, he goes for it. So I thought I can take. And he comes down and I just come here. I didn't see the follow-up. So I guess we just go for it. I guess we just go for it. I'd be really sad if I blundered like some mate in 2 or something. But the knight protects. Everything is like protected. I saw this as well. Just rook h7. Whoa, it's scary though. Because he's got this check. But then I can take on g7. It's probably alright. Alright, let's just play it. Interesting. Okay. Well, we've got the time to think. We can play rook takes g7. Oh, there's this queen. There's this queen. Oh, that's scary. That's very scary. Oh, we might have actually just cooked ourselves. Ah, wait. Do I have queen e8? Maybe queen e8 is actually defending this. Maybe queen e8 saves the day. I think it does. Let's go for it. Not that I saw g4 at all in my calculations, but... I mean, somehow I did have, like, a decent amount of coordination. Like, I'm not surprised that queen e8 does exist. Oh, I thought he was going to flag. Okay. So now we could definitely take. I mean, I like the look of that. Just get rid of that pawn. Could also play queen g6. Yeah, let's just get rid of this pawn. And I was wondering whether I should even take this, but I don't know. Feels kind of off to take that. Like maybe bishop g4 or something. I'm also down to a minute, so I need to be a bit careful. Maybe I even take. Is that interesting? I feel like my king is actually somehow kind of solid. Go on, let's take it. I think I can play like bishop g5. And I don't see how he's entering. I feel really solid here. I think bishop g5 still makes sense. Let's play it. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think this is fine. My knight is still covering the square in case there's like some sacrifices. Maybe even now take on h5. Bring my queen into the defense as well. Or maybe I want to play bishop c8. What's more important here? Then he gets a strong knight. Does the knight do anything? Probably not. Bishop c8. Go on, let's play it. Let's play it. I wanna trade off some of these pieces. Now I think I will take. Let's take this. I think I can. Let's cover this square. I've got 10 seconds though. Oh my god. No, pure panic, pure panic, pure panic. I've completely messed this up. Maybe I've got some tricks though. Ah, but he takes with the other rook. Shit. Yeah, complete choke. Complete utter choke. I'm really, really out of blitz shape. Try this. That clock went down so quick, it really caught me off guard. We've still got some chances though. Oh god, knight e7's a good move. He didn't see it. Let's try this. I mean, knight f6 was my idea. Wait, I can give mate instead. Is that not mate? Whew, Jesus Christ. Oh, that was so ugly. That was so ugly. But you see what can happen when you get into time trouble like that. It's so unnecessary. And I'm remembering now. Like, it's been so long since I've played. I'm remembering the importance of thinking that you are flagged when you get down to 1 minute. You cannot allow yourself to get into like increment because it's just stupid. Because then you just can blunder in one move. So I'm remembering all of these. All of these things. It's been so long since I've like played any rapid or played any chess for that matter. Yeah, what is chat saying? Yeah, all these move suggestions, like I'm struggling to follow from before. You got a math test in half an hour? Best of luck. Good luck, good luck. Hope that it goes well and that you can swindle like this game. Yeah, that was mad. The clock is such a beast in this game. Yeah, it was awful for both of us. Yeah, let's analyze this. So, incredibly, my opponent made 6 blunders, and I only made 1 blunder, but still it felt very, very close. So let's learn from our mistakes. So, yeah, knight g8 was actually a mistake here, and I knew this f4 move was critical, but I just couldn't work out what I was supposed to do. I also have a chess lesson in 10 minutes, so I can't stay for too long. But yeah, I have no idea. Like, even in hindsight, I don't know what I could have done. Also, welcome Jamie to the stream. I hope that your chess is going well and life is good in London. Yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know what else I could try. Yeah, just because I'm a bit tight for time, let's. Oh god, what do I even try? What's my plan B? Okay, my plan B is this and then e5. Correct. Wow. Okay, so let's actually see that. I'm very curious. So, knight takes d4, and then e5 was my idea. Oh, it's not e5. Just queen c7, and we just allow this monstrous pin, and we just chill. I guess, yeah, if e5, then it blocks the queen, right? So it's not that big of a deal. The annoying thing is it is +1. Yeah, and g6 is actually the +1 move due to e4. Yeah, I was kind of a bit worried of this transposition, and g6 is just, unfortunately, a bit too weakening. So probably then I need to make a choice already. Maybe one flexible move is d6, actually. Maybe d6 is the kind of move that keeps me flexible. Yeah, maybe this would have been the way to go. Maybe d6 is better. Because then if he plays e4, then I can just still play this hedgehog. I think I just forgot that e4 was a move when I played g6. Okay, that's good to know that this g6 is just not quite working. Okay. And then this moment, yeah, quick. I mean, I literally got down to 2 seconds and I was just like, I have to make a move. Like, I knew that queen g6 was not the move, but I just couldn't see one. And maybe actually, like, the more I looked at it, I don't know why I panicked, because I've actually got lots of defense on this bishop. Yeah, I have no idea why I panicked. I mean, why not just move like rook e6 and secure things this way? I mean, is this fine? Okay, it's giving up 3 points of my advantage, but it's not as bad as queen g6. Yeah, the panic was crazy though. Maybe knight e7 actually. Like, why am I not just trading off some pieces? Yeah, knight e7 looks very good. Oh, that's losing to knight f6? Oh my god. Knight e7, knight f6. Yeah, knight f6 is actually a huge threat, like the piece of pin. Maybe I did see this in the game. Maybe I was like afraid of this knight f6 idea, which is why I wanted to get out of the pin or something. But oh, but knight f6 isn't possible when the knight is on g8, so I'm just chatting rubbish. Yeah, I really have no idea how black to play and be -3 in this position. So, okay, what techniques do I know in the defense? Am I able to trade any of the pieces? Am I able to counterattack? Maybe a move like queen e2, right? Threatening the e-pawn. Is that possible? I feel very nervous about sacrifices. Although, actually, when I take on e4, I protect the pawn. So maybe this is actually legit. Let's try it. Okay, this is the correct move. Nice. So counterattack was the way. And then trade the queens. Get these pieces out. Improve the knight. Yeah, very difficult under time pressure. He finds this rook takes g5. And yeah, this is obviously bad, but okay, I have to just keep fighting and not give up. And then I saw this checkmate idea, and that's actually why, like, maybe this queen h8 is just bad. Like white should, okay, I see queen f2 as top move, but king b2, like just play an improving move. Like, statically you are now better, you have the better knight, you have the very weak black king. Like, you just make this improving move before you try and play aggressively with queen h8, and that's why I even got a chance with this rook f2. Knight f6 was very good, and yeah, just got the checkmate. Crazy. Whew, okay, well, that's a nice game to get back into rapid. Knight e7, I think this was my suggestion from before, unless this was talking about knight e7 here, which apparently is top engine move. Maybe I could blunder this. Like, who knows? Maybe I go king h5 and blunder this checkmate in 1. Like, definitely worth a shot. But yeah, that was fun. And yeah, learned something new about the opening. So what do I need to be careful of? When we get this like position with e6 and they go for this d4, then I can't play g6 just yet. And probably a move like d6 is better, just to stay fully flexible. I don't want to take on d4. I don't want to play d5. So yeah, that kind of leaves me with d6. And if they play d5, can I actually take this? C takes, I don't care. C takes is just baloney, I don't mind. Knight takes, If I take this, am I getting wrecked? I am getting wrecked. Yeah, now I can't play knight c6, right? The pawn's not on d7 anymore. So I have to play bishop. And again, we get these close structures. I can't play this. I guess there's queen e2 or something. Wow, bishop d3. Yeah, this is very... Like, no one in the world has ever prepped this. But yeah, like... Interesting. I guess a6 is maybe interesting as well, because then on d5, then I really can take everything, because I've still got knight c6 in the position. But a6 feels like so... I don't like playing a6 when the center feels like it's still kind of open. But maybe it's fine actually. Maybe on d5 then I can, if we get this Benoni, a6 is very useful. Maybe a6 is just like one of those ultimate flexible moves. Yeah. And actually d6 is always like in line with the setup. Bishop d3, play bishop b7 first, cover the d5 square some more, and then play with d6 and just delay this decision a little bit longer. Because if they ever play e4, then we do want to enter hedgehog where we don't play g6. Okay, so whenever white can still play e4, then we want to make sure that we don't play g6 and accidentally get us in a worse hedgehog than usual. So, okay, very interesting to see these aspects, and also it was nice to see the turnaround as well. Yeah, this was. Oh, I'm actually worse here. I actually banked on f6 being good and queen f7 not being good. But this is what I mean. Like he gave himself way too little time to work all of this out, which is why I was also trying to play a little bit fast for practical reasons. And yeah, I'm very glad that I found this queen e8 as well. I didn't just take this and blunder checkmate in one, which could definitely happen on a bad day. But yeah, guys, it is 3:59, which means I need to get going and teach a chess lesson. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like on this video, or if you're feeling very, very generous, check out the new YouTube membership tier, which will give you access to these Benoni videos, which I put a lot of effort in editing and creating, and I think this series is really, really good. So thank you for tuning in, guys, and see you guys in another stream on Wednesday. Okay, adios.